Welcome back to our show. Exhaustively now, we are tackling youth and entrepreneurship ndani ya Youth Arise Show, and I have my guests today in studio, professionals and the people that have experience and challenges that youth face in entrepreneurship. Welcome. From my extreme end, I can see Cecilia. I have Cecilia. Cecilia is the founder of Cakes by Cess Limited, CPS, MBA, Strategic Management, PhD student, and a part-time lecturer. Karibu.
Asante sana.
On my next to Cecilia, we also have Alex Kemboi, who is the CEO at Eco Network Technologies and also a software engineer. Karibu, Alex.
Thank you.
And just next to me, I'm with Clement Ongaki, who is the CEO of Climax Enterprises and a trainer in ICT, online ICT, and also a physical planner. Karibu, Mr. Physical Planner.
Thanks.
Wow. Now to our guests, feel at Youth Arise Show ndani ya MTV, and this is an interactive session that you're going to have, and our topic today is on youth and entrepreneurship. Now, I'd just like to get to know you guys are founders of business enterprises, and we'd wish to know how you guys started, just a brief of how you guys started, and I believe that is aimed at inspiring a youth out there. So maybe we start with our sister Cecilia.
So it's ladies first.
Yes, actually.
Okay, Cecilia has worked in basically the corporate setup since I was 19. My first job was in the production field. That's what you guys do here. And I've done marketing for a pharmaceutical firm. I've moved to Coca-Cola. Then I moved to Eveready, East Africa. I changed the career, went to service industry. I went to the insurance industry, worked in Pan Africa Life, then CIC Group. And after all that, I decided it's time now to break out from that. So that's how Cakes by Cess came up.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that is a vast experience indeed.
Yes.
From Cecilia.
It is.
We are moving to Alex Kemboi. Kemboi, karibu, Eco Network.
Yes.
Karibu.
Thank you so much, MC
Yeah.
Rolex. And first and foremost, coming from a very humble background, I was challenged to actually be different from how our family has been. And I found that the difference between our family and other families was the financial facilitation of the projects that we want to undertake at home. And being a student those days in high school, maybe missing out pocket money and now thinking, how can I make money and get some pocket money for myself? So I started saving the little pocket money I used to be given, go sell some maybe biscuits in school, make some few coins. And with time, I started growing and learning the tricks of business. Later, when I completed high school, I was lucky to be a teacher. And I used to get some little allowance as a teacher. I saved them, try, bring my business up. When I joined campus, I also happened to be lucky to have been elected as a student leader and also got some extra allowance. And my breakthrough was when I launched a students' union website, and I was appreciated with some good amount of money, which enabled me to launch my own company.
Wow. Yes. That is so inspiring from a youth who's you just finished your university course, and right now he's talking about his breakthrough while at university. That is so inspiring. Welcome to Youth Arise Show.
Thank you.
Actually, Cecilia, it's also inspiring to recognize how much the transition between the corporate world and being a self-employed individual. That is so inspiring. Now we're coming to this super guy called Clement. Clement, karibu Youth Arise, and at least maybe give us in a nutshell something about Climax Enterprises.
Okay, I thank you, Rolex, and the Mtv TV for the Youth Arise show that now I've attended today.
Thank you.
It's a good one, and I encourage you people to be doing this so that we inspire the youth out there. Me, I'm Clement. And it is an amazing story from a man who lost a father while from one at Alliance Boys. I lost my school at Alliance Boys because of fee. I had to come home to go to a village school. And from there, I managed to pass, got an airplane. Then I went to university. I took engineering. After finishing, that was in 2011. I finished the school. I went over there. I met now the real life, where now you hustle. There's nothing like you are clever or you are stupid. You hustle.
Survival for the fittest.
You survive, you work. I went to Nairobi, but before that I was a teacher somewhere. I was a teacher at Younger Boys. I stayed there for around 2 years. Then I went to another school in Kisii town. I taught there for around a year. Then I went to Nairobi. I wanted to get what I went to school for. I thought that in Nairobi is where people get money, people get employment.
Wow.
But it was the opposite. It's where now people hustle. There were server hustle and hustle. I hustled with them. You can imagine somebody walking from Umoja to Nairobi town in the morning to look for a job. You don't get it. Then I got a friend who was also a lecturer at my university who introduced me to online writing. I went to his house. Third time I was married, had a wife. I couldn't move with my wife to his house, but I had to move myself. Then I tried to supplement my family where my wife was working somewhere, but I get a very small amount of money, a salary. Then I tried that, and the man gave me the platform now to start my own company, online writing company. Now I'm employing from somebody who was working to town. I'm employing around 46 youths.
Wow.
Working university graduates. Many of them are scored very good grades. They were anticipating that they would have been somewhere in the government, in the county governments, or in the national government, but life did not go the way they wanted. So they landed on my hands, and I've inspired them. I normally, I have a session on Saturdays that I talk to them.
Wow.
I tell them how life is, where I've come from also, where they now see me.
Wow.
Yeah, that is now me.
So fascinating indeed, and we appreciate actually for that information about you guys. I believe that that is something that is so driving, and that's why at least Youth Arise and MTV continues to appreciate your presence here. Now, they say actually that youth is the youth category, the young generation is the determiner of a well-empowered society, and therefore being the pivot of an economy in the society. There is something we really need to talk about, and that is actually what we are addressing the youth out there today on entrepreneurship. And my first, I was just going through an article that I would quote. There's a guy called Mwale, is the CEO of Skydrop Water Limited. And this guy at 19, he is the founder, and he has also employed 20 people. And that is so really inspiring. He's still a teenager and a CEO, and that calls for, actually it implicates the high level of innovation and aggressiveness. And that is still what I'm seeing with you guys. And I believe that the young people are employers, not job seekers. Now that brings me to the very critical question, which is what do you think, especially at the state where you have an idea? Between the concept of having an idea, business idea, to implementation, there are a lot of things in between. Actually, we can talk of challenges and choices to make. How can we overcome the challenges in order to make the right choice for proper business? Like you guys, at least you have a case scenario that you can refer to. Now I'm going back to Cecilia.
Okay. As for me, I'm looking at... when you look at entrepreneurship, most people come into business because they saw so and so. I saw Kemboi running, and Kemboi sells t-shirts, and Kemboi sells t-shirts. Especially now we are now going back to the campaign round 2.
Yeah, that's true.
And I'm thinking, do I really need to sell t-shirts? That's not my passion.
Yeah.
So you look at what's your passion, because I've been a marketer for the longest time.
Yeah.
If you ask anybody, if you put me in a party, I will be the talkative person. And I could even sell my products to friends, and they'll always say, this one is joking. But I found passion in baking, and it's a business. I had to come up with a plan. The funny thing about coming up with a plan, I decided I'm not going to involve professionals. I wanted the layman's language, mtu wa kawaida. And you'll be surprised that most of my customers actually are from this campus, Kisii campus. And they will actually ask me, why won't you give us maybe a delivery job? Currently, I'm teaching one of them to be a baker, and it's just part-time. And entrepreneurship for me started just like that. I was doing samples for my neighbors. I could bake, go with it to the office. One day my neighbor said, sell for me that cake. I made 2,500 in a day, and I was very broke on that day. Even if you had money somewhere, that 2,500 really went a long way.
Yeah, that's true.
And the next thing that happened, one of my friends, luckily I carried her along to the interview. We posted a cake and it went viral. That week I had 10 orders that I couldn't cope. I don't have a logo. I don't have capital. I had to actually look for plan B. Where am I going to get things for baking? Where am I going to? Because I used to use a sufuria. And that's what I was telling the youth. Why are you waiting for Serikali to give you initial capital?
Yeah.
Start with what you have in the house.
That's true.
And most of them could ask me, do you have an office? And I tell them, I bake from the house. I'm not going to pay rent until I break even. Because I don't want to dream big before starting up a more stable business.
That's true.
But from the experience from the corporate setup, it's taught me lessons. I don't regret being there. If you've sold anything tangible and you start your own business, you'll actually know the effort that it takes for Kemboi to sell a t-shirt. Not everybody will buy a branded t-shirt.
Wow.
So entrepreneurship has to come from in you.
It has to come from within.
Yeah, before
embraced, packed up with some passion.
Yeah.
And then you make it a profession.
Make it a profession.
Now, referring to what Cecilia is saying, Kemboi.
Yes.
Kemboi, I'm really touched by the part of you, this part of you that is a student who could keep some pocket money and end up like starting some business. Now, I want you, like, that now brings me to kind of a shifted kind of question from Cecilia's.
Yeah.
How? Because many youths out there almost everyone has million ideas.
True.
But now there's a very big gap between the idea part and the implementation part. Now, how did it come about?
MC Rolex, thank you so much for that wonderful question. I think the most important thing in life is first to understand what is your purpose in life. After understanding what is your purpose, then you now strategize how you are going to make it to where you want to be. And who is an entrepreneur? An entrepreneur is someone who identifies an opportunity and goes for it. Who is an aggressive person? An aggressive person is someone who spots an opportunity and goes grabs it. We even told who is a poor person. A poor person is a person who passes opportunities repeatedly.
It's true. Yeah.
Poor is an acronym. So for me, I identified an opportunity. I referred back then when I was in high school, and students used to love buying snacks. I don't have pocket money, but how can I get that money out of the pocket of that student? I now have to think deeper. I get an idea. I don't need to start with big businesses and start thinking of doing so many big things. You start from where you are. Where I was then was where 100 shillings can be the capital at that point. And the most important thing that most of us fail is failing to have a budget in life. If you have a budget and you spend according to the budget, so that the extra coins that you remain with, you save them. After, you see, most of us say we want to wait until we get a job and then we start saving. But we need to save first and then we start spending. But most people spend first and then what remains is what is
saved.
saved. We should be people who save first before they they spend. So after doing that, you see, as you start growing, you start even diversifying your ideas. If, for example, you have an idea and you lack capital, that doesn't mean that you should not proceed with your idea. Approach financial institutions, approach individuals who can support you, approach even, the first institution is your family. Approach your parents, your brothers, they will support you and make sure that you implement your idea. And most of the youths die because of lack of ideas, not lack of capital. As much as we might say that we are lacking capital, the biggest thing that we lack is ideas. Yeah.
Now, from Kemboi's point, Clement, I always tell my friends that poverty is in the incapability to realize your potential as a human being. So there's a lot that lies in between the realization or the actualization of your potential to use whatever you have around you or within you to get something. And I think your story really is in tandem with that perspective, being that you've given us a weighty kind of a story about your life as you grew up, and now being someone who has employed 46 people. What do you tell a youth out there in terms of, you have an idea? Yes, I have an idea, and I want to implement this business concept. What do you have for this youth, irrespective of where they come from?
Yeah. The first thing I can say, what drives the world today is globalization and innovation. Innovation is driven by technology. One thing that our youths have, and which is a problem, is thinking about capital. When you want to start a project, always the first thing is capital. So if you say, this project, if I start, will take me 200,000. I live in a thatched house, mud walls. I have a single bed which I made even myself. How can I get 200,000? Maybe if I get 200,000, I can build another house better for myself. What we do, and let me tell you, saving is the most difficult thing in a youth's life.
Yeah.
Your father can easily save, but a youth, it's very hard for a youth to save.
Yeah.
One, a youth wants to look good, dress well, drive a vehicle. So saving is a very difficult issue.
Create an impression.
Yeah. So what we normally do is shifting our blame from ourselves, from our endeavors which were wrong, to other people. You see, my father did not take me to university. That is why now you see what I'm doing here. I'm very poor now because my father did not take me to university. Or maybe I finished university and my area MP has not found me a job.
Yeah.
He promised my father doing campaigns. He has not actualized the promise.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, those are just excuses in life. What we need to do is, one, look at what we call the ideas you have, as you have called them.
Yeah.
The theories, propositions, and the conceptualizations that you have, put them together into a movable thing. Make it like you had a concept of building a phone, build it a phone.
Yeah.
Now start looking for the raw materials that you need now for the concept to be realized.
That's true.
For example, for me, when I started my company, Climax Enterprises, it does not deal with one thing. I deal with online writing, where I have a UVOCOP office. I have 4 accounts that I deal with. For third sector, I have employed around 22 young men and women from this very wonderful country. Then, the rest, I told you 46, the rest has been employed not in the online writing.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe just to kind of build up on what you're saying, and this goes to every one of us. I think there is this part of the idea, determination, and idea actualization. And then we come to the most important part, which is really, really draining youths right now in the society. And that is once there is idea actualization, there is something called consistency, which is so much affected by dependency. The youth depends so much on, like my brother Clement is saying, my MP, the government, Uwezo Fund and stuff. Now, this is a general question that I want us to maybe build up. once a youth is capable to actualize that idea, business idea, what do you think, in your opinion, should help us enhance consistency of the actualization, the actualized business concept, and eradicate the dependency part? What would make a youth independent?
Let me start.
Yes.
What first we need is one thing. In a human being, you know, even if you are a grown-up, there's also what called psychological growth. You need to undergo psychological growth to arrive what we call self-actualization. Even if you follow Maslow's hierarchy of needs, self-actualization is the highest.
The last.
That's true.
Yeah. So, what you need to do in your life first is to everything, let it move towards what we call self-actualization.
Actualization.
So, no, I wanted to be a teacher. Have I been a teacher? If no, why? Start asking yourself that.
Wow.
And then the challenges can be just a motivational steps towards your self-actualization.
That's true.
Yeah.
So, Kemboi, you have something?
Yes. The most important thing that will keep us going is self-discipline. We need to have self-discipline. I remember the story of how football started. Football started in Germany. And then they used just to chase the ball. They never had the goalpost. They used just to chase the goalpost, the ball, I mean. And they did that until they realized that this is not being real. We need to have a target. And they invented now the goalpost. And now as they play football, they are targeting something that I need to score. So we need to have a target. We need to have a vision, and we need to have what we want to achieve at the end of everything. And let that one be our motivation, so that we remain disciplined, so that we remain working for our ideas. And one thing that I want to tell the youths, most of the youths want to be their own bosses. When you start a business, you need to be the employee of the business yourself. For example, I do t-shirts. I'm the one who does this work at the beginning. But as the business grows, you can now start thinking of adding some other employees. But at the beginning, you remain the employee of the business. And don't forget to pay yourself. Most of us think that we are now bosses and you forget to pay yourself. You should consider yourself as an employee of your business. Pay yourself so that you remain disciplined.
Thank you. Maybe Cecilia, if you have something, my directors are telling me.
Oh, time bad.
Yeah.
Okay. So for me, I'll tell the youth. First of all, it's time to chafue mikono. I hope I can talk in Kiswahili.
Yeah.
You know, it's been a long time coming that we wait for this idea to come, and I pray for a man like Clement will come and give me capital. Trust me, no one will give you capital. You have to start from the own resources that you have. And most of the things I'm seeing right now coming up in the social media, most youths actually have better ideas than us who are now the laggards. It's just the other day I entered into Telegram and someone told me I'm now a laggard. I need to have known Telegram existed a long time ago. That tells you these youth who are here right now can actually do a better business than us.
That's true.
So it's time we get out of the comfort zone. Whatever you have, start with it. Your clients start with you. Make yourself dirty. In fact, today someone told me, get off your suit and your heels, because now you have a lot of marketing to do. And that is someone who's bought my idea and she's actually working with it. So if I had started this thing 3 years ago, how far would I be? I would actually be running a cake house in East Africa.
That's true.
So,
allow me add about the comfort zone.
Yes.
Most of the youths, they are thinking while they're in school, is they're looking forward to be employed.
That is an MD, I'll be employed.
They are looking forward
It's
to
like the
white-collar
concept of
jobs.
when I grow up.
Yes, when I grow up, when I grow up.
Yeah.
Some of us, I think we are now grown. And we should grow up. Because if you start thinking that after completing campus now I need to be employed, you might never be employed. But you should be thinking of employing people. Because we are just in a comfort zone where we think that after completing campus, we are going to get employment from maybe the MP or say.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Right there from Cecilia, Alex and Clement. You can get it that even football started by chasing the ball, and right now tumefikia SportPesa. So that shows you how much innovation has taken shape, and it is about the youth to do self-actualization. We are taking a short break and we will be back in a few. Stay put.